All right, let's get it.
Hey, what's
Theater
up,
mode
everybody? Lawler here. Welcome back to my 2021-2022
or
RLCS
full screen.
guide, part 5. Update on the LANs. They're back. They're bigger and better than ever. They're longer. There's more of them.
Full screen or theater mode?
So much more.
Full. Okay. I just feel like it's even more like stealing content if I leave it full screen.
Updates on LANs. A lot of things to talk about what to expect for LANs, when they're happening. The first one that's been announced, unfortunately, it is players only, but we'll get into that.
Players only.
LANs of the past.
Lame. No point. There's not even a point then.
So
Literally no point.
To discuss. Start with the past. First part, LANs in the past used to be once a year, pretty much. We had the World Championships. That was about it.
LANs in the past, once a year.
Something like that.
Lawler, are you smoking crack, bro? Yeah, there'd be DreamHack. There'd be fucking what? There'd be the Intel tournaments. There'd be fucking there'd be there was like 4 DreamHacks a year, bro. What is he talking about? 1 LAN a year,
which was an off-season event or like nothing associated to the RLCS. That was the only other thing going on. We haven't had LAN since December of 2019. The last time we did was in Madrid for Season 8.
2019 was the last LAN?
At that point.
What? Holy shit.
The way it used to be is we would play through an entire season of League play.
There wasn't a LAN in all of 2020?
Each region would then go to a World Championship. It would be like a 4 day ordeal, and the winner would lift a trophy. Everybody would be happy. Then we'd all have big, sad post-LAN depression, and then we do it all over again after a few month break. That is no longer the case. What was supposed to happen last year for RLCSX is we were supposed to have at least 4 LANs, one for each major, international major. Teams from all over the world come together and play against each other, gain points. Those points then affected your overall standings. Did that 3 times. Best teams at the end of that will then go to the World Championship. Last place potentially for a LAN was supposed to be Dallas, Texas, which would have been pretty freaking cool. Although the venue was kind of
I could have gone to that one.
But either way, would have been sick, would have been a good time. Doesn't happen.
Scuffed venue. What was wrong with that?
Sad G2 fans everywhere. We now go to the present. The things that have been announced in the announcement video. First things, LANs are back. They are excited about them.
True.
There's a lot of cool facets to it. There is supposed to be a LAN for every single major. That is staying persistent. The first LAN will be in fall for the major in Stockholm, Sweden, from the 8th to the 12th of December.
Stockholm, Sweden. Is that near Germany at all? Are you going to that one?
Exactly 2 years from the last LAN. 2-year anniversary. We get a LAN, Stockholm, Sweden. Really cool. This will be players, managers, etc. only staff. There will be no fans, and they're treating this as a learning experience. Traveling internationally, COVID testing, making sure that people stay healthy, making sure that, hey, do we do this in a hotel?
The other half of Europe.
Studio things. What things can we do to make sure this runs as smooth as possible? Because a lot of other LANs have had issues with certain players not being able to attend, with certain staff members having to be removed. A lot of different moving parts that go into a LAN. And when you're trying to be health conscious about the whole situation, it is good to, as of kind of like a teaser or a test LAN, to see how they can further take that information and implement it into future ones. We do know that for sure there will be a LAN with a live international play from all over the world on December 8th to the 12th in Stockholm, Sweden. That is happening as long as there is not any COVID restrictions, with travel restrictions, with borders being closed, any of that kind of stuff. As of right now, though, Stockholm, Sweden, December 8th to the 12th. We've got international competition.
I will not be there.
It's going to be amazing. They do talk about in their announcement video about how ultimately they want to have a safe environment and learn from other events, both in the traditional as well as the esports related side of things, learning from NBA, NFL, other sports on how they're able to get that many people in to a state.
True, I forgot about that part. At least we'll be able to finally see and update ourselves after a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. 2 years. Who is better now, NA or EU?
Stadium. How can they also do that and make sure that that same level of health conscious aspect for a multi-billion-dollar organization is able to translate into esports? How can they do it correctly? How can they make sports?
It's just entertainment. It's just entertaining. It's not like competitive. Like, it's not like actually a huge rivalry. It's just entertaining. I think right now NA is clear, bro. Everyone knows it. There's no point in arguing it. I don't know about that. Right now, I feel like EU has a more average, higher skill level for their RLCS teams. I think the average skill level is higher in EU, and I think that's usually how it is for sure. The talent usually runs a little deeper in EU, but I wouldn't, if we were to have that tournament right now. I think unless NRG does NRG things and just completely dominates, I think a really good chance that EU would win the whole tournament, because NA has gone through so many roster changes, and with the way NA plays, it's really you really have to know your teammates really well and how they play. But Europe, since they play usually a more just kind of basic play style, you don't need to know your teammates as well. You just kind of need to know what you should be doing at the time on a typical, game to game basis. And I think because of that, it's easier for EU teams to switch up their rosters and still do well versus NA rosters. I feel like NA rosters take a little bit more time to get used to each other and to figure each other out, whereas EU players can kind of intermingle a little bit more and still play well together.
Esports, same. They then kind of go on this big tangent about why LANs are so important and that they understand and hear us. They talk about the moments and the specific times and how you can get kind of engulfed in the whole feeling of what a LAN is. If you guys have never been to a LAN, I do apologize, because it is some of the best times I've had in my entire life. I do agree wholeheartedly with everything that's being said. The feeling that is associated with LAN cannot be recreated, and Rocket League is a game that truly lives on LAN, so everything in their power to make them happen is extremely important. They then get asked about Worlds, pretty good system from where the majors are going to be and what the intentions are. Right now, they do talk about how Worlds in the future will be in North America. That is their plan and what they want to do, pending no issues with the whole COVID restriction situation. I can tell you right now, North America is in a pretty rough spot when it comes to the whole COVID situation, so whether things will improve or not by then, we don't know. But their intention is bringing everything back to North America.
NA lands
in different countries, depending on where they decide. They haven't talked about too many details on that. It'll be kind of a play-by-year situation. They do plan for the World Championship venue to be massive. They're talking like 30,000 type of seats in a bowl kind of situation, like going big, which is awesome because it's going to be...
I don't know how many seats were at like the last LAN, like say the Justin Gold LAN. I don't know how many seats that was. Anyone know?
A 2-week event. The way that broadcast is going to break down is...
What was that season?
Let's talk about the major first. The major itself, they have intentions of
6?
being a 5 to 7 day broadcasted event with intentions of at least 5 days. As for trying to make it comparable, they want
What's Wembley?
The majors equivalent to what RLCS World Championships were of the past, which is a pretty big thing to say. If you guys have ever tuned into CSGO and watched like the Boston Major with Cloud9's run, that is the feeling they're trying to give and provide to international majors. This is why a lot of us were excited about the RLCS X season. Majors are going to be essentially 3 times a year. That's like having 3 world championships a year and then another event that's even bigger than that one still to come. Majors should excite you when they do come back and people are able to attend. They're going to be insane. They also do mention regionals and how there's potential for them to be LANs in the future. As of right now, obviously, it's too many moving parts. They want to see how things are going, but there is potential in the future that
LOL are working out them traps, bro.
The year could also be LANs as well, where you can go and attend and watch North America play, Europe play, build those fan bases, give some specific home crowd stuff going, and then when majors happen, have all of those people. Like it's gonna be pretty sick. Currently, they don't have anything locked in, but potential in the future. They just want to see engage what the community feels, which is understandable. Ultimately, I think there's just a lot of restrictions in place, a lot of moving parts. No need to force it just yet. That's regionals, majors. Let's talk about the World Championship. As for the World Championship, they plan for it to be a 2-week ordeal, that's a long LAN.
Damn.
It's a lot of live content for Rocket League.
Your Valorant LAN was only like a week long, right?
The World Championship wildcard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out part 3 of the guide where I break down what the different formats are going to break down into.
10 days,
16 teams, bunch of different stuff. Top 8 of that goes to the World Championship. It's the easiest way I can explain it. This will not be like a big LAN event. This will be like a in a hotel studio It's going to be very intimate. Those teams are going to be there alongside the other teams that are practicing and scrimming and shooting content. These wildcard teams are going to be pretty much in an in-hotel studio, very intimate, still have a lot of production value.
So in other words, a lot of production value. I don't know. That gives me the vibes of that old tournament they had. Or it wasn't even like, I don't remember what it was, but they were all like literally in a hotel room together playing like across a freaking ping pong table. I don't fucking remember what that was, but it was not a very high quality LAN. I don't remember what that was.
Not going to be the live event with all the lights, cameras, all the crazy stuff, the introing of the teams.
Gold Rush? Was that the Gold Rush LAN? Oh, I think it was the Gold Rush LAN, dude. That shit was so garbage.
LAN server competing with no excuses. Once they figure out the 8 teams from the wild card in the first week of the World Championship,
you remember that?
The second week will be them joining the other 8 teams that have already qualified to the main event. So you're gonna have 16 teams again, and it's gonna be nuts. A week-long LAN. What that means, what that pertains to, I don't know if it's just a ton of matches or if they got some special stuff planned, but that is a long ways away. But it should be something that's very exciting. Hopefully show matches, hopefully unique ways to show the broadcast.
What's up, Panda?
Hopefully not broadcasts that are 8 to 10 hours long every single day, so we all get burnt out, casters and stuff included. Hopefully they do this in a way where the scheduling feels good. Like I'm talking like 4 to 6 hours a day max, very palatable, because you are going to have,
you know, I didn't hit record. I'm gonna have to rip this from the VOD on Twitch. Unfortunate. Probably won't be quite as good, but it'll be fine.
So many matches in one day, it's unbelievable. And I say that as someone who just did the We Play event where we had a lower bracket final and a best of set.
Oh shit.
It was still a possible 8 matches a day, 8-hour broadcast, 10-hour broadcast.
Assuming I turned,
it's too much viewer burn, and I hope they consider that. But a week long to do it is going to make.
Assuming I turned that audio track back on for my VODs, I might not have. I might not have Lawler's audio. Oh, I can sync it up though. Yeah, we're good. I've done that before.
Maybe they'll do concerts again, like Hollywood Principal. Either way, LANs are back. They're going to be bigger and better than ever. There's going to be more of them, pending things go okay with the whole COVID situation. But you can expect a major to be a LAN international. Right now, it is going to be players, staff only. Eventually, if things get better, they will open those up to fans. If they
talking about updating us on LANs for Rocket League,
that is a concern. Taking care of the players, the coaches, staff, everybody first, and then once they figure that out, finding venues and stuff, they'll announce accordingly. But we do have a LAN.
Next LAN is going to be in December,
competition for Rocket League for the
but players only, players and staff only.
Stockholm, Sweden for the fall major. Should be really exciting. And it's going to include more than just.
And I don't know why they're calling this a fall major. December is definitely winter time.
These other regions as well. It's going to be exciting. That is going to wrap it up for this part of your Rocket League guide for the 2021-2022 season. If you guys do have any additional questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you enjoy the content,
capital of Sweden. I'm just going to say, I have no idea. I'm going to say Stockholm since it's in Stockholm, Sweden. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say you're trying to cap me, and that's why. Good guess. Nice.
Hey, what's up, everybody?